You're telling me the only car, well now Broncos do it, the only car in manufacturing right now, or on the market, that the doors come off, you can't have the door open, it'll go into park. Welcome to Rockit Garage, and on this episode, your boy got a job, finally. So, I guess I gotta get a car that's actually gonna make a round trip every week instead of all of my other junk that I own. Anyways, got this 89 LTD Crown Victoria from one of my buddies, and it's been a little promiscuous. It's been to every one of my buddies, and now it's mine. So, there's a very good driving vibration, which I think is probably partially the tires and either the front end or the drive shaft. So we're gonna try to investigate that, get rid of the driveline vibration. Gonna go through and make sure all the bushings and U-joints are all good. I've got new tires because these are gone. Those two are at the wear bars. These two have been kind of cupped from bad alignment. So got to get the car aligned, try to find some oil leaks. There's an exhaust leak, and again, the vibration. So anyways, I'm probably not gonna talk too much to this video. I wanna try to get this done this weekend. And I mean, I'll do some voiceovers and stuff, but let's get into it. Let's get the car up, go over it, and hopefully fix everything that's wrong with this thing. All right? You can see it's already been leaking. A little bit of oil. So someone had deleted the smog pump and that bolt was just shoved in there. And that belt was squeaking on that pulley because the pulley was angled downwards like this. Anyways, I fixed that. I put a bunch of spacers there, put the bolt back in. AC compressor doesn't squeak anymore. And while I was under it, I saw that the smog pump, EGR crap, that hole was there, so I welded that up the best I could, but now that I have the car on the lift, I realized that this side, this is probably where the exhaust leak is coming from, so I'm just gonna burn a bunch of filler in there. Hopefully that'll be fixed. And I can already tell ball joints are bad, and some of these lower bushings don't touch the sides anymore, so it's probably where the front end clunk is coming from. This side is just as bad. It's got a glass pack on it with some speed holes. Probably gonna do a rear end fluid change just to make sure. Check the brakes. Probably do shocks while we're at it. Otherwise, the rest of the car looks pretty clean under here, besides my gravel driveway ruining everything. I also noticed that there's no wire on that oil pressure sensor. So we're gonna have to look into that. Pretty simple. Just start taking cotter pins, bolts, nuts. Everything is greasy on this car, which is just the best. I love working with greasy parts. It's amazing. I was trying to do this the easy way and not disassemble the spindle and rotors, but it gets caught underneath the rotor and the lower control arm. And then I got these bolts loose. Now I gotta take all the steering down. That's a bummer. I was trying to knock this out today, but it doesn't look like it's gonna happen. Well, I've already got the passenger side torn down. This is becoming a job. I've pretty much got the passenger side done. Everything is torqued besides inner and outer tie rods because I need to replace those, but we've got a new shock, ball joint, all four bushings. Brakes are back on, tightened down the wheel, the rotor. Yeah. Ooh, I need to tighten the upper shock bolt. Maybe it's just the heat in here, because it's like 105, but everything is going really slow. I am like 9 hours into this job that I thought was gonna take 6, and I'm not even halfway done, so yeah. You can see I used the air hammer to knock out the old bushings because they did not want to come out. Nicked a few of the corners, but that's nothing a file can't fix. Now we're just pressing back the ball joints, or pressing the new ball joints in, I should say. These stamped control arms kind of bend, so I'm going to hammer the control arms straight after I get them all pressed in. And you can see me fiddling with the damn ball joint press. It's because I'm poor. I need a nice one. You can see me hammering down those edges that kind of bent in. Now we're going to do the ball joint. I'm just cleaning the surface. I pretty much got the cheapest stuff you could get. I really didn't care about quality here. I'm just driving it. Okay, this is a daily. Oh, fiddling with the damn ball joint press. Snap-on actually makes a really nice one that's magnetic, which is the bomb, but I don't have that type of money. This is the part that I filmed. I didn't film everything, obviously. And let me tell you, it took me about 12 hours to do this front end, which was about 6 hours longer than I thought. But we're getting there. Upper control arm's getting installed. And installing the lower control arm, trying to get those bolts to line up. Especially with the new bushing. Got to hammer on the frame rail a little bit. But overall, it wasn't a bad job, just frustrating. There it is, 12 hours later. Whole new front suspension. Well, like 80% front suspension. Ball joints, bushings, inner outer tie rods. Cotter pins are new. Yeah, turned out pretty good. Got that Fram air filter. Oil filter. Dummy. Now we're just moving on to the rear diff. 13mm bolt. Takes it off. I don't actually know if anyone's ever done the fluid in the rear end, so it's probably a good thing I did. And it actually looks pretty healthy. It's plastic. I harp on it, and I know a lot of people harp on it that they don't like the way new cars are made. They're made disposable and cheap and plastic, and I get that. I think for the most part, they're kind of built the same, except the price is different. You can't really throw away a $80,000 truck, but this diff cover is plastic. So when people say, when did the downfall of the automobiles and the manufacturing start? Well, it's always been that way, honestly. It's just that this car was affordable back then, even though it was a luxury sedan. But it's got a plastic diff cover. There's a lot of plastic parts, and window regulators are riveted in, and just stuff like that. I mean, I think it's always been happening. It's how to build the cheapest car that's going to last through the warranty, and back then the warranties weren't very long because they weren't that expensive. This car was probably, well, let's just face it, any car with an odometer that doesn't go to 100,000 should tell you right there how long they were supposed to last. This thing's got like 53,000. I'm gonna assume 153,000, which it's gone 50,000 miles longer than it should have. I don't think it's got 250. It's pretty clean. Everything's original. But in my opinion, I think the real downfall of the automobile is somewhere around 2003. And that was the introduction of CAN bus system. I'm not a big fan of that. I know, I get it. It's supposed to reduce wiring and everything, but now everything's a module. And those modules have to talk to each other, and then if they go bad, there's no way to really fix it besides replacing everything, if you can even find the parts or if you have the money to even fix it. So it's kind of like a throwaway car. This is a throwaway car, but at least you can fix it if you wanted to. And it's not that expensive. Oh, this is gonna suck. I'm gonna be pumping for days. This is day 4 of trying to fix this car. I thought I was gonna be done in like 6 or 7 hours. So we are deep. We're deep in it. Honestly, nothing lasts forever. It's not meant to. You're supposed to buy a new car because that's the way they designed it. But I will say, probably the 80s and 90s cars are about the longest lasting and most repairable. I wouldn't go spend a ton of money on them, but if you just want one car, you can repair hopefully indefinitely, but in like 20 years these parts won't be available, so then you'll have to get the next 20-year newer car, and those parts won't be available. I mean, come on. Nothing's supposed to last forever. It just sucks how much all these cars cost. This car was practically free for me, so I thank my buddies. Rear shocks installed. If this car brand new, like today, was like 20 grand, I think people would buy it. And I think in 5 years, when something does go wrong, you know what, you got 5 years out of it, 20 grand, just go get another one. And I think a lot of people forget that, is that people replaced them every 3 to 5 years back in the day. Some people kept them longer, I get that, but you can't really just throw away a $80,000 truck and go buy another one every 5 years. So I think what's happened is people expect it to last 15, 20 years because the trucks from 25 years ago have lasted till today. If they were a work truck, 10 years, that's all you're gonna get out of them. And that's fixing it. But other than that, if a new truck was 20 grand, of course everybody every 5 years would go get one. But these cars have essentially lasted the test of time, kind of. There's broken parts on it, and there's things that aren't correct, and it's not worth fixing, but it's worth keeping running. Don't get me wrong. I think everyone loves a new car. I would love a brand new Ram or Ford F-150, but because I don't want a 10-speed transmission. Look at all the problems they're having. I don't want, honestly, you don't even need 10 speeds. Come on. 6 speeds is way more than enough. I think 2010 to like 18 was a pretty good year for, I think that was the peak. I think after that, we've gone downhill. And especially with all the electronics that people, honestly, I don't care for, and a lot of people don't. Like the start-stop. Who wanted that? Who said that would be a really good idea if everyone had that? I don't want it. Sorry, I'm trying to clean up here because I have a mess. It's been 4 days of the apocalypse in my shop. Let me just cut all that out. I was ranting. It's partially the insurance companies and stupid people. Because around here, around the property and all that stuff, I actually like to have my door open when I'm driving up and down the driveway picking trash up or getting in and out of the truck picking stuff up or whatever I'm doing, right? I like the door open. I remember when I was in Florida and we were working on this Jeep, and I'm not a Jeep guy. I had the door open, I threw it in reverse, hit the gas, and it went 2 feet and locked up, went into park. I was like, what the? I thought I blew the truck up. And I was like, what is this? I didn't even know they started doing that. And one of the guys laughed. It was just like, oh yeah, if the door's open, the car goes in park because people kept running themselves over. First of all, if you run yourself over, you deserve it. Not in a harsh way, just if you don't know how to put a car in park. I've done it before, not put a car in park. But anyways, the car goes in park, and most modern vehicles do that. You're telling me the only car, well now Broncos do it, the only car in manufacturing right now, or on the market, that the doors come off, you can't have the door open, it'll go into park. I understand that once the doors are off, the car knows, but that's, why? Why? It shouldn't do that. And honestly, I really like the new Rams. I'm kind of a Ram truck guy. I'm a Ford guy, but I love the Dodge trucks. It's Ram. Anyways, the Rams do it. I think the GMs do, it won't even go out of park if the seatbelt's not on. And I know, very slim chance, most people don't have to live through this or whatever. If someone's robbing you and the door gets swung open, the car goes into park and you just get stabbed or shot, or the car stolen or whatever, or if you have to jump in the truck and you slam the door and someone's trying to break in and you have to just put it in gear and go, the truck won't go because the seatbelt's not connected. Or all those crash avoidance stuff where if I need to run through a gate or 2 cars block me off, not that I've lived near the cartel or anything, but a couple cars block me off, I can't just ram right through them because the collision safety stuff will block you and apply the brakes for you. That stuff is what makes me mad. If they could make a new car like this car for a reasonable price, I get it, everyone has to make money, but I'm willing to pay for a decent built, reliable, simple car or truck. You could make this car power windows, wipers, radio, AC, power locks, cushy ride. Nowadays, you probably make this car more efficient, make it more aerodynamic, whatever. Make it get 30 miles a gallon, 40 miles a gallon, and make this car reliable and simple. 25 grand all day long. I'd pay that. I don't have that money, but I would definitely get a loan for that. Because then it's gonna last you 20 years if you wanted it to. But it's cheap enough if you don't like it. I don't like gray. Let me get a purple one next year. Well, it's cheap enough you can just go get another one. Sell this to your family member or Joe Schmo. This car has kicked my butt for the last 4 days. And that's okay, because it's a lot simpler and everything I'm doing is fixing a problem. I'm not chasing anything. This is probably gonna be my most rantiest video because I don't like to rant. But I'm kind of fed up because I've looked at a lot of new cars. I just can't get behind any of it. Where's that wire? I found a wire. Now to fix the wire. Harbor Freight. My shop is a mess. So we will snip that. I've looked at new cars. I've looked at different older cars, and essentially you're kind of stuck with what you got. Then you want something fuel efficient, but then people want a lot of money for it. So then you're stuck with cheap. Oh, there's the sensor. I need to add some wire there. Psych. So you're left with 23 plus year old cars. that you have to hope they keep making parts for. They probably will for at least another, we'll call it another 20 years. Someone else will pick up the slack as long as people keep purchasing aftermarket stuff. Keep your old shit box running and hope you can still get parts, or buy a new one and hope that it doesn't break. Anyways, exhaust is welded up because someone deleted the smog pump, which is fine, whatever. Got both sides of the exhaust welded up. Got the AC belt lined back up. I did that off camera. I just put some shims in the bolt, in the spot where the smog pump went. Oil pressure switch wire is ran back down. I just got to terminate it. Rear shocks, front shocks, rear diff, just did an oil change on it. Bled the brakes, all new bushings in the front, tie rods in the front. We have brand new tires. I think that's it. I just got to go get this thing aligned. And hopefully it lasts, I don't know. I want it to last 50,000 more miles. I want it to roll over one more time. That would be sweet. And then I'll figure my life out from there. All right.